What is Almajiri education and who is an Almajiri? Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Zara and this is Zara Shinde TV. Let me start first of all by apologizing to my few but wonderful, amazing subscribers. I am sorry I have not posted a video for quite a while now. I apologize sincerely and I promise that from now henceforth I'll do my best to post consistently. And if you're not a subscriber yet, but you feel you would like to join this exciting family of mine and support me, then please hit subscribe now because that will make me really happy. And turn on post notifications so you get notified each time I upload a new video. And do it now so you don't forget. Thank you. Now, Almajiri education. Almajiri education is a system of education practiced in northern Nigeria, and it is also the name for a young boy who is taught within the system. Almajiri, which is the plural of Almajiri, are children usually from poor rural backgrounds who leave their hometowns in search of Islamic learnings with teachers of the Quran who are called Malamai. This system encourages parents to leave their parental responsibilities to the attached Islamic school, as most Malams were taught in the system themselves and they do not receive any salaries whatsoever but depend financially on alms from the communities in which they live and the work of the Almajiri. They usually begin their studies from the ages of 3 to 15. They spend their time studying the Quran and they graduate in their early 20s. And on days when they're not studying the Quran, some Almajiri boys attend secular school, but just a few of them. Majority of them, however, never attend any secular schools at all. Now, I was told that the Almajiri boys practice alms begging only as a necessity to eat, that it was not originally part of the system. But it is now said that alms begging prepares them for the hardship of life, makes them strong, and keeps them devoted to studying the Quran. Now, I'm a little bit confused myself as to how alms begging or hunger can keep anyone devoted to studying anything. But then, well, who knows? Perhaps it's been tested and proven, right? Research shows that 8.5 million Nigerian children currently attend Islamic schools in northern Nigeria. The system is not responsible for their feeding, so they are left with no choice but to feed from the streets. At a very early age, they learn how to beg, accept all sorts of meager jobs, and even scavenge waste bins just to feed. We are all aware that terrorism has really taken a stronghold over our dear country. And if we have children roaming the street in millions with no food to eat, then there's a big problem here. It is no wonder the system has been attacked for promoting youth poverty and misconduct, for failing to teach young boys vocational skills, thereby making them totally unfitting for the workforce, and for demoralizing boys and making them perfect recruits to gangs and terrorism. If not all of us, then many of us are aware that the late Abubakar Shekau was once an Almajiri boy who rose to the highest rank in a renowned terrorist group here in Nigeria. Now, this is not to say that every Almajiri child will automatically become a terrorist. No. However, this should be used as an example out of many examples why every child should be raised in a decent home and not to be left to roam the streets in hunger and confusion. Well, whatever the case may be, this just goes to show that the government and proper Islamic scholars in Nigeria have lots of work to do. Now that you know who the Almajiri boy is, what he does and why he begs, we will now proceed to the main cause of this video. I've had quite a few opportunities to come close to these Almajiri boys. And that has really helped me to understand them a bit. and from the little understanding I have of them, I can tell you that they're actually sweet children. All my life, I've seen the Almajiri boys roaming the streets and begging for alms. I've felt pity for them sometimes, and other times I've simply judged them, maybe not to someone, but definitely in my heart. But 5 to 6 years ago, I had an encounter with a certain Almajiri boy I used to call my sister's son then. And that changed my perspective of them completely. I'm not quite sure how or when their friendship began, but he would always run to my sister whenever he saw her. For those of you who know Abuja well, he was always around Jahi or Next, and he would always run to my sister's car whenever we were in traffic around that area, or if we're about to go into Next. He would come, "Hi auntie, how are you doing today? Hi auntie, we are hungry, my friends and I are hungry," and my sister would always give him a little something to go and buy food to eat, or sometimes she would buy bread for him from Next. One time we stopped seeing him for quite a while, and later on we saw him again. I'm not sure it even occurred to us that we stopped seeing him, but after we saw him, my sister asked him, she called him by his name at that time, and she asked him, "What happened? We've not been seeing you." And he said, "Oh, I resumed school." And my sister said, "Oh, you go to school?" She was really surprised, and he said, "Yes, I go to school, and I only come out to bed these days in the evenings after school or on weekends." And my sister was like, "Oh, that's awesome." It was really nice to hear that this boy goes to school. So we stopped seeing him for a while, and after some weeks or maybe months, we saw him again begging. This time around it was during school hours, and my sister asked him, "Why are you not in school today?" And he said, "Oh auntie, my uniform is torn beyond repairs, and my teacher asked me not to go to school with mufti, so I have to beg to gather money to sew a new uniform." And my sister asked him how much it would cost him to get the new uniform. I can't remember how much she told her at that time, but she gave him the money. After that, I can't remember how many days intervals, but we saw him on a Saturday, and he came to thank my sister for the new uniform. Auntie, I bought the uniform. Thank you so much. Thank you very much." And my sister was really excited. She was happy. And this boy was very happy. Like, you could see excitement all over him. He was smiling and he could not stop smiling. "Thank you so much, auntie. Thank you. Thank you." He said it in Hausa. He kept thanking my sister in Hausa, thanking her for giving him the money to buy his uniform. And at that moment, it just occurred to me that I've had the wrongest perspective about these boys all this while. Like, I've always felt all they're interested in is in food and what you have to give them to eat. Like, I thought they had no future ambition. I don't know, at that very moment, I realized that I have thought the wrongest thing about them. I've had the wrongest perception of them in my heart. And for my sister, her compassion towards this boy whom she barely knows from nowhere, sparked something in me. I looked at her, and in my eyes, she looked like a different person. She looked like a person I've never met or known before in my life, because in my eyes at that moment, she exuded so much elegance. Like, I could not believe that my sister would do something so sweet for a person she barely knows from nowhere. Apart from the fact that she was constantly feeding him whenever she got the opportunity to, she went as far as imputing something, contributing to his growth, contributing to his education, which, by the grace of God, if he continues, which we hope he continues, he's going to grow into something amazingly beautiful in the future. So it really felt good. It really felt awesome. And at that moment, because of my realization of the fact that I've had the wrongest perspective about these boys, it made me realize that life is not always black or white, that there are different shades to life depending on how we choose to see it. It made me realize that every day is an opportunity to make a difference in the life of someone. We don't know where this boy is now or what he's doing, but we sure hope that wherever he is, he's doing okay. 2018, I got an opportunity to be fairly involved in an off-the-street campaign organized by my friend Prime. Now, Prime had gone to Gusau to serve, and according to him, He has never seen such an alarming number of Almajiri boys as the ones he saw in Gusau, even though he has lived in the north all his life and has become accustomed to seeing Almajiri boys on the streets. He said the number of child beggars in Gusau was something else. He became friends with some of them, and the friendship was what later led to the Off the Street campaign, because he decided that he was going to do something for them no matter how little it is. So he started tutoring them with their Malam's permission, of course. He got permission from their Malams and he started classes with them. He would always teach them simple alphabets and numbers. The children were really excited, and sometimes they would ask him for uniforms, books, school bags, and all those things. And so he had to tell them that they can only have books, which he will do something to provide, but they can't have uniform because uniform is only used when you're attending real school. Well, some of the boys were not happy because they told him that he has no idea how much they envy the children going to school, how much they wish they would wear uniforms and also go to school. Well, because of all these things, Prime decided to get sponsor for his Off the Street campaign. He got a couple of sponsors, but I came in the area of writing material and lunches. So Prime contacted me and I was able to raise something through the Zara Shinu TV for the writing materials and a little something for lunch during classes. Well, Prime will always give me updates of what was going on, if the children were happy, if their madams were okay with what he was teaching them, and if they were doing all right, and if they were even learning at all. And sometimes he would tell me about this particular Almajiri boy, what he was doing, what he liked, what he said, and all that. And he would always give me updates, and everything was moving fine, yes, I would say. One time he even sent me a picture of the handwriting of one of the boys, Shamsu, who that day, the day he wrote that alphabet, was his first day ever attending any class on any Western education. It was really neat writing. I'll put it on the screen here so you can see it. Well, I was really excited, really happy, but I was especially happy when the Almajiri boys made a thank you video and Prime sent it to me.
Ni ina ɗaya daga cikin malaman da suke volunteer wurin karantar da waɗannan almajirai, sannan kuma ina ɗaya daga cikin waɗanda a shugabannin almajirai ko malaman wannan makaranta. Saboda haka muna matuƙar farin cikin godiya. Allah shi ɗaukaka wannan hukuma ta DB, Allah shi sa ta fita har ƙasashen waje albarkacin manzo Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Muna godiya ƙwarai, Allah saka da alheri.
Me kuma muke ce mata da turanci? Thank you Zara Shinu TV for supporting Almajiri. Thank you Zara Shinu TV for supporting Almajiri.
I felt really happy watching the video. You have no idea how many times I have played and replayed this video. I felt really happy, really nice, and I felt cool. The thing is, these boys want to go to school. These boys want to own, they have dreams to own businesses. They really want to be useful to not just themselves, but also to the society in which they live. But sadly, life has not presented them with these opportunities. I think early 2021, I visited Yola. I went to Yola for a project, and there was this Almajiri house, there was this Almajiri home behind the house where I stayed, yes. So I would always go there to buy something because their malam had this little kiosk, you know, this malam's kind of kiosk where they sell sugar, sweets. So I would always go there to either buy sugar or sweets or chewing gum or something. And I would always use the opportunity to have little conversation with these Almajiri boys. We would always have little chit chats with us. Hello, how are you? What's your name? How you doing? And all the stuff. And you notice that they're always willing to engage in conversation. Smart kids, like the moment you start talking to one or two, before you know it, you're surrounded by 10, 20 of them. They just come, oh, my name is, once you notice you're trying to ask the other person for his name, just, oh, my name is this, my name is that, my name is Aliyu, my name is this. Like, they just pack up a conversation with you immediately. Like they just want you to notice them instantly, and in the end you just realize that they're just children. You just look at them and just see the vulnerability in them, like how much they just want attention, they just want to be loved and all those things. So I spoke to a few of them a couple of times whenever I went to buy something. And also, I also took the opportunity to look at the corridor where they always sit to study. And I noticed, well, the floor was neatly swept, very neat. Kudos to the wife of the Malam if she's the one doing the cleaning, because that is the neatest Almajiri study room or classroom or study corridor I've ever seen, because it was neatly swept, well kept. The floor wasn't tarred or cemented, but it was neatly swept. At least there's no sand on the floor. You could sit on the floor comfortably. Like there was no mat or any stool or anything for sitting, which simply indicated that they always sit on the floor. Or maybe they use mats. Maybe there's a mat rolled up somewhere that they always lay whenever they want to sit to study. I don't know. I've never seen them while they were studying. I always saw them outside, because I always go there in the evening, so I'm sure by then they're done with the studies, or maybe I go in the days when it's not their study days or something, I don't know. But I noticed some of them didn't have slippers, so my initial intention was to buy them slippers. So when I went to the market, I realized that I didn't know their sizes, because they were of different sizes and of course of different ages, so there was no way I could buy the slippers for them. I wouldn't be so accurate in their size and all that. But my friend Prime was also there. He advised me to go for foodstuff instead. He told me to buy them foodstuff and buy them soap and washing soap and bathing soap instead. That would be more important to them, that because slippers would be more like luxury, more like an accessory to them, which a luxury that might not really be that important to them, but you see, food might go a long way. So we decided to go with the food instead. We bought food and soaps, baking soap and washing soap, and we took it to the Malams. The Malam was really nice. He told us how glad he is that he's in their lives. He even opened up to us about the fact that some of the children have never been visited by their families since they were left in this place. Let me use that word. So this simply means that some of these children have been abandoned by their families. Well, we had conversations about their well-being. He told us some of his challenges with the children. He told us how some of the children are really stubborn and not easy to handle. But of course, a child who is basically spending 70% of his life on the street will be stubborn. What would you expect from that child? But then he was really nice and just a cool person. We had chit chats with the kids. He allowed us to even take pictures with them. We also took pictures with the Malam. But unfortunately, I lost my camera on that trip, so I don't have any of those pictures or any of the videos I made in that trip. But it was a wonderful, sweet, and lovely experience, because that permitted me to get to know these children. I got to understand them on a deeper level. I was face to face with them. The little conversation and chit chats I had with them made me realize that these children really have dreams. They have dreams to be big. They have dreams to be great. They have dreams to contribute to the society. They're just limited. I often hear people say stuff like, oh, you maybe them they pay, make them cause trouble for election, make them suffer. But you forget that these children, if truly they are even the one that voted, they're paying to cause trouble in any election, do they even have any choice? Do they have a choice? It's like me being hungry and someone comes and gives me 1,000 naira and says, go and eat. And once I've eaten, I'm full, and the person says, okay, you know what you do for me now? What you do for me is that you will do this and do that in place of that 1,000 naira. Or the person shows me 1,000 naira and they say, I will give this 1,000 naira to you if only you go and do this and do that and come back for it. And I'm hungry and I know that that 1,000 naira can solve my problem, which is to buy me food to eat. I will accept it. So even if truly they are the ones causing any trouble anywhere, they have been given something in place of that something they are in need of in place of that. So you won't really blame them. The people you should blame are the people who are taking advantage of them, to use them to cause trouble. They're taking advantage of their lack, of their vulnerability to cause trouble. And besides, I think Almajiri boys, those little ones on the street, are even too little to even cause any trouble, and too little to even vote. Like, do they even know anything about voting or election or whatever? And besides, if you feel they are voting, they're using their voter's card or whatever, or their power or their number to vote in the wrong person into power, have you ever sat down to think that these people don't even know what is best for them? Because they don't know their worth, they don't know what they are made of, they don't know how important they are to the world, to the society, because they've not been given the opportunity to fully understand themselves. If they don't know that they too can be great and even greater than their favorite politician, if only they can be placed in the right environment, if only they can be shown the right path to go, if only they can be well educated and well brought up. They don't know that they too can be governors, senators, and presidents, if they too can drive in flashy cars, live in homes, luxury homes, like beautiful homes. They don't know all these things. And the truth of the matter is, they will never know if nothing is done about this situation. Well, the government can do something for these boys. The government can decide to build schools, something more like a boarding school, and move all of them there, where they'll be taught, where they'll be fed, where they'll have clothes, clean clothes to wear, and where they'll be properly taken care of. And the government can decide to maybe close down every Almajiri school, or maybe ban parents from taking their children to any Almajiri school. But because we already have these kids with us in our communities, in our societies, around us, living with us, I appeal to you, because these kids are innocent, because these kids are victims of their parents' abandonment, victims of a system that has failed them woefully. And because of all these things, I appeal to you to please treat them with compassion. They are already going through a lot as children, and the least they deserve from the community they made is a little bit of kindness. The least they deserve from us is a little bit of love, a little bit. You don't have to always give them money or food whenever you see them. Simple hello, how are you can go a long way. A simple smile once you see them can go a long way. Instead of, please people, I implore you to treat these children with compassion, with kindness. Yes, we'll be praying for a miracle where the government will maybe close down Almajiri schools. But before that happens, let's be kind to the ones we already have. Let's show them that this world can be a better place. Let's show them that they too can make a huge contribution to this world, that they are important, that their presence in the world makes the world beautiful. Let's show them we don't have to always give them something, but we can engage in little conversations with them when we see them. Simple, hi, hello, how are you? Once you start talking to one of these children, you will realize that they are smart and intelligent. You will just see immediately, you will see in them a potential that if only they will be given the opportunity to unleash, this world will be a better place. Some of them you see could be the doctors that will treat, that will bring solution to some of all these deadly diseases that we're yet to treat in this world. Some of them, you see, could be the architects that might design, that might bring forth the most beautiful designs we're yet to have in the world. Some of them could be teachers that would teach children and bring out the best in them. Some of them, you see, have a lot of potential just lying and wasting in them because they don't have the opportunity to unleash those potential. And as children, they are already going through a lot, in the rain, in the sun, in hunger, in hardship, in trouble, in problem. And the least they deserve from us is kindness. We don't want to be adults who will still add to the problems of children by insulting them, or the moment we see them we start judging them. Oh, this Hausa boys, no be them they pay, make them do this trouble, no be them do this one here, no be them this that. It's not really nice. I mean, considering that whatever these children are going through, it's not their fault in the first place. They only grew up to find themselves in this situation. It is not their fault that their parents decided to dedicate them to hardship. So please, I implore you to please look at these children with compassion. Look at these children and treat them with kindness. The Almajiris in the market that help you carry your load from the shop or whatever to your car, you could, if their fee is 15 naira, you can just decide to give them another 15 naira. Maybe what you have is 100 naira, and you, instead of telling them to bring change, you can just decide to just give them the 15 naira and make them understand that this extra 15 naira is an encouragement for the work they've done. Make them understand. If maybe you buy pure water or something from any child on the street, any child hawking on the street, you can just decide to leave the change for that person. If maybe the pure water is 30 naira and you give them 15 naira, or maybe the pure water is 20 naira, you can just leave that 30 naira for that person and make the person understand that this 30 naira you're giving to him is an encouragement for this work, for this pure water he's hawking, is your own little contribution to his growth. Make him understand that, let them see it that way. It will go a long way to make them see that this world is a beautiful place, this world is an awesome place. They will see it through you. It doesn't have, you don't have to pump out 500 naira to dash any Almajiri before. You can, a little bit of kindness, a little bit of concern, a little bit of compassion will go a long way. Thank you so much for watching. I am sorry for keeping you till this point. I didn't intend to make this video this long. Thank you so much. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share to your friends so they too can share to their friends, and also leave a comment in the comment section. Give me a suggestion, tell me what you don't like about this video, or tell me if there was anything I said that was wrong. You can just tell me in the comment section, or if there's any misconception I had about the Almajiris, you can still tell me in the comment section. And also tell me in the comment section what you think about the President Goodluck Jonathan's attempt to integrate Western Almajiri education, why you think it didn't work, and if you think he wasted the country's resources by building those schools that are now wasting. Tell me in the comment section, or send me a DM via my social media handles on Instagram at zara.shenil and on Facebook at Zara Shenil, and also my pages Zara Shenil TV on Instagram and Zara Shenil TV on Facebook. Thank you for loving me. See you in my next video. Bye.